The honourable member for St. John South.
Mr. Speaker, the Minister shows incompetence on bonds, he shows incompetence on his tenders. A performance bond is one thing, and it's issued to ensure that work is completed. A labour and materials bond is entirely different. I asked the Minister, do you now agree that, considering I asked the same questions yesterday, that the labour and materials bond would protect suppliers and subcontractors of Humber Valley Paving?
The honourable Minister of Transportation Works.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Now I'll give the honourable member across the way a little lesson in bonds and what's in place and is still in place for the small businesses that deal through private enterprise is called a mechanics lien holdback, and that is still in place. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The honourable member for St. John South.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I can tell you one thing. He didn't read the labour and materials bond either, because written right in there, it says that subcontractors will be protected if the contractor defaults. So I asked the Minister again, is he going to read the labour and materials bond, and will he now confirm that that bond would in fact have protected the subcontractors who are begging for payment from Humber Valley Pavement?
The honourable Minister of Transportation Works.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the mechanics lien holdback is in place to protect small businesses, and if they choose to put a lien on a business, they do that on their own, and government has made sure that's in place.
The honourable member for St. John South.
That's also what the labour and materials bond is for, and would provide greater protection. Mr. Speaker, the Minister obviously felt it was important to protect Humber Valley Pavement, cancelling the contract and returning the bonds, also propping up the value of that company, I may add. But, Mr. Speaker, the Minister certainly did not think it was important to protect the suppliers of Humber Valley Pavement, which the labour and materials bond would have done. I ask, why not?
The honourable Minister of Transportation Works.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as I stated yesterday and I stated in the meeting, and I will state again, first and foremost, the first goal of this government was to protect the people in Newfoundland and Labrador, and the decisions that we made through my department, I think, did exactly that, protecting the people in Newfoundland and Labrador.